It was a historic day for the Horizon League, day 3 of the 2025 Horizon League Swimming and Diving Championships. 2 swimmers vied for their 4th consecutive event title. A diver in the diving well best his own record set earlier in the day, and then the Oakland men's swim team reasserted their dominance after being tested very closely over the last 3 years. The action looked a little bit like this. It began with 100-yard butterfly on the women's side. Jordan Ships has been the gold standard. She had won the three previous women's 100 butterfly, and she would make it 4 in a row as she would close out what has been a record turn for her in the pool in the 100 butterfly. Dominant performance by Ships. And the men's 100 fly, there was not a returning champion, but Sofus Balladona would do the honors for Oakland as they had reassert themselves in a championship that they had lost the 3 previous years. But Belladonna would take the honors in the men's 100 fly. In the 400 IM on the women's side, Miriam Frost of Youngstown State, who had won the title the previous year, and she would do just fine again, outpacing the field for her 2nd consecutive women's 400-yard IM title. In the men's 400 IM, Jackson Nestor had won the 3 previous. He was looking to become the 4th swimmer in this championship to four-peat in his selected event, and he would do so with room to spare. Jackson Nestor, not 1 or 2 or 3, but give him 4 titles up on the podium. In the women's 200-yard freestyle, Emily Zietlow was looking to go 3 in a row. This was the only event she had not. She had been beaten in her Horizon League career. That was back when she was a freshman, but she corrected that and won sophomore, junior, and this year as well, doing it so in an NCAA B qualifying time. In the men's 200 freestyle, Oakland had dominated this event. Jonas Cantrell was the defending champion, but we would get a new winner as Nathan Raridan of IU Indy would just out-touch Jonas Cantrell and take the title from him and the top spot on the podium. For Cantrell, it was his 3rd second-place finish in the event. In the butterfly, the 100 breaststroke, the favorite entering might have been Bella Gary, the 2-time champion, but Gabrielle Lapine, a transfer to Milwaukee, was the top-seeded swimmer, and she would perform just like her lane spot the best, taking down Bella Gary and through to win her first ever women's 100-yard breaststroke. On the men's side of the ledger, Chris Palvadre was the one that was supposed to inherit the mantle of the great Christian Bart, and not only did he do so, he did so in style. He had finished 3rd the last 2 years, but he takes the top spot on the podium as Chris Palvadre wins the men's 100 breaststroke. On the backstroke side, Grace Albrecht, like Chris Palvadre, was supposed to inherit the mantle of other distinguished teammates on the Oakland swim team. She was the top-seeded swimmer, and the freshman would live up to the hype, winning the women's 100 backstroke. With the men's 100 backstroke, Harry Nicholson and a talented Oakland trio would hit the water. Max Haney, Jack White with them, and it would be those 3 who would finish. Nicholson first, and Oakland in a 1-2-3, sharing the top spot on the podium. In diving, Sebastian Otero in the prelims set the new Horizon League record. He would back it up and pursue it with gusto. His 2nd dive scored a 73.5. His 4th dive, his best, 75.95, and needing over 40 points to win the new Horizon League record, he did it, shattering it. A 63 on his final dive gave Sebastian Otero not only the 1-meter record, but also he set the 3-meter record on Wednesday, and that dive would have been worth 3rd in the NCAAs last year. In the 400-meter relay, Oakland entered not having lost the event in a decade, but Milwaukee would overtake the Golden Grizzlies in the breaststroke portion and hang on to win the women's 400 medley relay, the first non-Oakland team to win in 10 years. On the men's side, Oakland would reassert their dominance in a lineup that featured current Horizon League champions in all 4 of the disciplines and all 4 of the strokes. Oakland would win in record time with Charlie Brown anchoring for the Golden Grizzlies, and the Oakland side would let out their roar, taking the top spot on the podium. The points at the end of the day look like this for the women's side. Oakland has a 92-point lead over Milwaukee. Cleveland State third, IUND fourth. On the men's side, 206 is the margin for Oakland over IUND, which is rather steep going to the final day of the championship, which will begin tomorrow at 10 for the prelims and the championship rounds at 5:30 from the IU Auditorium in downtown Indianapolis.